going on? Hanging out with Walker Hayes here backstage at a show at the Washington County Fair, and it seems like Walker also has a really good career maybe in radio in the future, because you said you like mics a lot.
I love mics.
Yeah.
I love interviews. I feel like, you know, I go through so many interviews that sometimes when I watch them on TV, I'm like, man, how does this guy have a job interviewing people? Because sometimes their questions are lame.
Really? Okay,
You know?
so that's a great question for you.
Right.
And I always forget to ask this question. What is a question that you get asked all the time that you're like, oh, why am I being asked this again?
Are you gonna be mad at me if you ask this question like every day?
No, because then I won't ask you.
You know, I don't enjoy when people are like, what are your musical influences? That one gets a little redundant.
That one's a very like go-to one when you kind of forget about questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see how that one. And I also, I'll tell you what. Even though I don't love that question, I can also see how some audiences would be like interested in everyone's answer.
Well, and I'm sure it's cool too because you know you're a fan of Kenny Chesney. Kenny's watching it,
Right.
blah blah blah. He's like, oh, that's cool. Walker likes me,
Right.
but then he hears it 50 million times. He's like, I get it.
Right. Another one too is like, how do you describe your style? That's just kind of a weird one. That's almost like a interview for a job. You know, like somebody being like, what are your strengths?
Where do
and
you see
weaknesses?
yourself in 5 years?
Because I feel like you know, all of us artists are like, well, our music is awesome. You should buy it. And, you know,
get it on iTunes.
it's really
Listen
good
to it on the
music.
free iHeartRadio
Yes,
app.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but no, I mean, and I might be harsh on interviewers because we do them so many times. So
As an interviewer, I love to hear that though.
Yeah.
I like that. So at the end, you can be like, I hated when you asked me this.
I'll tell you honestly.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'll
love
give you
that
a
about
good critiquing.
What sneakers do you have on today? Because I felt like I
Okay.
had to show up. I wore sneakers purposely today for Walker because I know that you always have
I'm a
like the
sneaker
freshest
kid.
sneaker guy.
See,
yeah.
you're already my favorite interviewer. Yeah, these are KDs.
Okay.
And they're blue because they were bought to kind of go in an ensemble, if you will. I am not into fashion, but I have this girl.
Yeah.
Her name is Kelsey. She's my manager's wife, and she picks out all my clothes. So
Bless her.
whenever I'm dressed, whenever I'm not naked, I'm wearing clothes that she picked out. But yeah, she knows that I love good, you know, some good kicks.
Yeah.
And I like
clearly.
yours too.
Thank you. These have a zipper because I'm too lazy
I
to
didn't see that.
lace them.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love a good comfy, you know, kick. I'm not a boot guy. You know, I never worked on like a farm.
He said boot,
or
by the way.
anything.
Boot. He's not a boot guy.
Yeah.
Yes. You never worked on a farm or anything like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I mean, I've had a pair of boots, but yeah, I mean, I'm more naturally. I love to dance and bounce around, and so.
So can I ask you who your dance influence is? Like,
Yeah,
is that a terrible question?
No, that's a
Okay.
great question.
All right.
You know, like I love people that full blown just get it. Like Bruno Mars. Like I love how he's just singing, and all of a sudden his whole band is just like pop, and they do something together.
He's so good.
Yes, and I would love to kind of bring that to our genre at some point. You know, when like you broke up with me, wouldn't that be like the greatest for?
We gotta call
to
Bruno.
have some down-
Bruno, I know you're watching this.
Get some tips.
Call him up. Justin
Totally.
Timberlake too.
Absolutely, like
Yeah.
when he's just messing around.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, you just make that up, you know? And
How does that just happen?
He's great. Michael Jackson, obviously, but yeah, I just love, you know, when guys really will get confidently just get down. You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fun to me. I used to rag on people who liked like NSYNC and stuff, and then I
How
saw.
dare you?
Well, no. And then I saw them live, and I was like, dude, I get it. I saw them on their No Strings Attached.
As did I.
Okay,
Hello, I
thank
am a
you,
31-year-old
guys.
white woman.
Yes,
of course I saw that
I
show.
was like, you may not know what I'm talking about, but I saw that live, and you know, they come down.
Oh,
and
like
it's
the
just-
puppet
oh,
thing
they
that they
came
had.
on strings.
I mean, they weren't exactly like this. This is a really
Yes.
bad rendition
Yeah.
of it. Yeah,
Well,
I'm
I'm sure
the
they-
worst dancer, so I'm
You-
not a good one.
For real?
I'm so bad.
Nah, I
It's
bet you're better
embarrassing.
than you think.
Oh no, my husband is always like, don't do that anymore.
It's all about commitment. That's what I've learned. Like I'm not really great, but if you just, I find that people appreciate, you know, your own style, your own moves.
I
if
gotcha.
you just go with it.
Okay.
So
So we were talking about NSYNC. Were you more of an NSYNC or a Backstreet Boys guy?
both.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, once I saw NSYNC, I got in all of them, and yeah, I'm not ashamed to say, man, that those were some hits, and they could all sing, and yeah, they were like our One Direction, I guess.
Oh, they were bigger than One Direction. I
You think so? Yeah.
In my heart, anyways.
Well, I mean,
I was always
and,
Mrs.
and
AJ.
Timberlake, this you're gonna get mad at me. He was in sync, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Did anyone did the Backstreet Boys are back?
Backstreet's back, okay? Yes,
All
they
right.
Do you ever see them in Nashville though? Because I know that
No, I'm
really?
not.
AJ put out a song.
He went solo.
Well, it was a country song.
No, I did not hear. But they did the FGL.
Yeah, that was
and
great.
The God, Your Mom, and Me. That's so good.
So what's a song that you hear on the radio now that you're like, damn, that's the jam right now?
That I love.
Yeah.
Well, shoot.
Any genre.
Oh, any genre.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. I'm into Imagine Dragons right now.
Okay. Yeah, you saw them at
the guy
Summerfest,
holding
right?
the camera. Yeah, he got me into them, and so I took the kids. Very like family friendly anthemic stuff. I love their new song, The Natural. My kids are wearing out all their stuff. I'm trying to think of like something I really enjoy. I love Drake's new album. I love Sam Hunt's Downtown's Dead. I think that song is dead now, but I don't know. I thought it was great.
Unfortunately,
yeah.
But it was really good.
Yeah, but what,
and the video
like,
was cool.
A dead song for him is like, it charted way high anyway. So.
What's your favorite Sam Hunt song?
Favorite song? Oh, Body Like a Back Row. I mean, that's one I wish I had written. But you know, I love Carly Pearce's, you know, Hide the Wine song. I mean, I love any, you know, that song has a lot of like swag, you know. And
are you gonna jump on stage with her? Because that sounded pretty good.
I wish. No, she's gonna. You know what though? She is jumping on stage with me to do a song called Halloween.
Oh, really, I love that song so much. I was just telling Brian, again behind the camera, the writing on that song is so freaking clever. Our morning show girl Shannon was like, it's just clever. I'm like, that's the best word.
Thank you.
So for you, and I know you said you don't like this, the inspiring, but like who is kind of the person that really got you thinking like, okay, how can I write better? How can I get clever about it?
Well, you know, I got to tell you, what happened to me was, you know, I lost a deal about 6 years ago. And so my perspective on writing kind of took a turn from aiming, you know, trying to get played, trying to get heard, to like, hey, I'm just going to write because it's therapeutic. Hence songs like Halloween. You know, what are you going to do with a song like that in Nashville? You're definitely not going to get it on country radio. However, I feel like fans need to hear that. But when I was writing it, I was just writing it because I had, you know, something to say. And I will say, Sam Hunt was a big influence on me. You know, he when I heard him on the radio, I loved his music, but I also heard someone who I was like, man, this guy's authentic. Like him or not, dude is who he is.
Person,
I've never heard anything like this, and he's charting his own territory. Macklemore was also.
Oh my God! How are we not best friends? I love him too.
Well, it's just so, you know, it's like when he's on the radio, or when I have his record on, or I'm listening to him wherever, he's like talking to me. He just sounds like he's just being himself, and that's just true vulnerability that I connected with. And so I was listening to those, you know, types of people. Also Miranda, you know, had you know, the Vice song, you know, and a lot of people were like, just telling the truth. And I was like, that's a great concept. Let's just be honest.
Let's be ourselves.
And so yeah, you know, a lot of my music I had no intention, you know, of really anybody hearing it. I was just writing it to just like the song Craig. You know,
which is just such a beautiful song, by the way. I cry every time I listen to it, like a sap in the car.
Thank you. But yeah, I love, you know, artists like Eric Church. I love artists that are completely separate from the pack, identifiable, and you know, I like artists that generally have a massive, you know, fan base because they are collecting people that obviously listen to their music and go, hey, I'm not alone. You know, and so. Yeah, did that answer?
It did. It was really,
yeah.
I think this is going really well. I have one more question for you.
On.
I always do a Women Crushing It Wednesday segment, which Carly is going to be featured this week. Who are females right now that you're looking at and you're like, ooh, she's going to be big? Besides Carly, of course.
Gonna be big. There's Renee Blair, who's on my radar. Tennille Towns.
Oh, everybody's talking about Tennille Towns right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you listen to somebody's daughter, you know why. That's that's a song that's in its own category as far as like lyrical content and how she sounds. You know, I love Nicole Gallion is not gonna be big. She's already massive, but she's an amazing songwriter. Yes, she's on Halloween, but she can write no wrong. She's incredible. But yeah, those two. I'm trying to think. I know I play stuff on the bus all the time. Nikita Carmen, I'm a huge fan of her. I don't know when that's going to happen, but you know, people need to keep their eye on her. She's such a gifted writer from Australia. Such a unique sound. Nikita Carmen, I would say those three: Nikita Carmen, Renee Blair, and and Tenille Townes, you cannot go wrong. Just incredible. They all, like I said earlier, what I love about them is those 3 females do not sound the same at all.
Yeah.
And they're powerhouses.
They're not cookie cutters.
No,
Yep.
but they're just so gifted at what they do, and they know who they are and what they are, and you can just hear confidence in every song they sing. So yeah, I don't want to leave anybody out, but yeah, I would say those 3.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Thanks
You've
for
been
having
great.
me.
Wishing you and your family the best too.
Oh, thank you.
Heard your
Appreciate
wife.
it.
By the way, I heard your wife backstage is a quote badass.
She is a badass. She's just a super mom, super wife, the most positive, laid back person ever. And you have to be, you know, to have 6 kids and the life we have, you know, this ridiculously, you know, crazy lifestyle. But you know, if you met her, you'd be like, do you have a pulse? Like, how are you just chilling right now? So that's how
if you are single and you are holding out for a guy, keep holding out till you find one that talks about you like that.
Right.
Because that is wonderful and so authentic.
Right.
So thank you again, Walker.
Thank
I appreciate you.
Appreciate it. That was awesome.